Hello and welcome back to Organic Cardboard. My name is Owen Kneep, and today super excited to get this fragile handle with care box here of Arydia, the paths we dare tread, I think is the other part of that. This is from Far Off Games, brand new game by Cody. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but we'll figure that out in a moment. Yeah, I just got this in today. Today's the 21st, I think, of January 2025. And this package says handle with care. This came in a larger package, and the larger package was not handled with care, and it had all of my Zaya content, the Legends of a Drift system, because I bought both of them together because it was a little bit cheaper to get Zaya along with this. So I went ahead and did that. They did not package that very well, but this feels like normal packaging, what you expect from a Gamefound crowdsource funded game. Anyways, just kind of a side tangent there. That package was really poorly handled. There's no packing material, and all the stuff was just set in it. And on top of that, whoever delivered it busted the heck out of my package. Luckily, nothing was hurt as far as I can tell. Side tangent finished. We're going to go ahead and get this guy opened up because I want to see what is in it. I'm really looking forward to this. So let's go ahead and get our trusty Shiv out here and take a look and see what we got. So let's crack her open. It's always an exciting day. I cannot remember when it was I backed it. I think it was at least 2 years ago that I backed this. I've been very patient, trying not to watch too much content about it, and just let it come out. Let's see though. So yeah, this is how the rest of my shipping box should have been packed, but was not. But again, not too many complaints because it did luckily get to me correctly. Okay, so we've got the main box here. This box, by the way, weighs 11.43 kilograms. What's that? 2.2 times that in pounds. So at least 22 and some, getting close to 30. What is that? 25. I can't do math right now. Every two's a five. 5 2's 4. Yeah, somewhere around 26, 27, 28 pounds, somewhere around that. So it's not a light box. It's actually a little bit smaller than maybe I was expecting, because I know how much content is in this game. Oh God, I'm gonna have to dump it out. it's in there tight and it's heavy enough, anyways. Okay, let's just do the reverse birthing of the box here. All right. So it looks like they must have stuck all of the content in one box. I'm hoping so. I did get all of the content that came with this, the Epic Hunt and the small bodies. It does actually say on this little sticker here that it does contain those, so that's good. So all one box. I'll go ahead and say right off the bat, this is a little smaller than like Frosthaven. In fact, I think I've got that over here to compare to. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to pull all that stuff down. I will pull it down just because I think it's probably worthwhile to take a look and see. I've got boxes on boxes up here, but I think it might be worthwhile to see. It's definitely not as heavy as this box is. Jeez. Okay. So, for comparison's sake, I wonder if we can get that. Frosthaven's a tiny bit taller. And let's see. I don't know if I can get that on the upper screen here. That's Frosthaven. This is Arydia. Flip it on its side. And I've got a little bit of lid lift on Arydia right now because of all the cardboard content. And there goes a box falling off that wasn't important. It just holds some extra Gloomhaven stuff. So you can see this box it's actually pretty comparable. So maybe about the size of Gloomhaven then. of a box, not as heavy. I do have a printed insert in with Frosthaven though. So let's get that beast out of the way. Set that off. I'm like getting out of breath just from moving this stuff around. Okay. Let's see what's in Arydia. I like to do a lot of side tangent stuff with Arydia. So, like, with Arydia, with any of these unboxing games, I usually babble on a bit. So Arydia is kind of this like somewhat like family-friendly campaign RPG, you know, like not D&D, but like kind of on the lines of like just your classic adventure of you know, just seeing some interesting stuff as you go. This is one of the very last campaign games I'm planning to back. I say planning to back. There may be something that catches my eye that I just can't get away from, but I really liked some of the neat stuff that I was seeing from Arydia's like combat system and their adventuring system, and also like how they're revealing stuff as you go. It just looked a little too neat to pass up. And he seems like a very likable person. The guy's Cody Miller, that is his last name. Developed with Ira Fay. I want to say Ira is, I could be wrong. I want to say that, well, that wouldn't be his son because it doesn't have the last name. I know he does a lot of stuff with his family, so they're pretty involved with all of his process anyways. Okay, so we got the rule book over here. And we can flip through it just a little bit. Kind of get a little idea of some of this content that's going to be showing up in this book. All right. A lot of words, pictures and such. Doesn't look like it's a terribly hard game to play from the playthrough stuff that I've seen, but of course you got to get all the little background info before you really know how everything plays. So this is going to come out to a total of 35 pages. We've got an index on the back, always very nice, icons, all these little things that every rule book should have, I think. So that's great. Love the fact that there's an index. Is there a table of contents? Doesn't matter if you got an index, you can use one or the other. And I would, in general, prefer an index over table of contents as long as I've got one. One of them, if I'm going to have to decide between the two, I'd take that index. So we do have a quick start guide, so that's nice. Get you set up. Probably looks like it tells you maybe how to sort some of these cards and such, maybe. It's got the idea for all the dividers for the cards. And probably all the stuff for like your basic startup, just to get you rolling before you have to learn all of the rules. And this is coming out to an easy 16 pages, counting the back of it. Alright, so we've got all of the like main class paths here. It looks like there's a total of 6 of them. Got Path of Valor, Inspiration, Light, Wandering, Arcana, and Shadow. So it's giving you a little bit of information about how each one of those classes is going to play, and some of the stuff that goes on along with that, and some example turns maybe it looks like in the back. Yeah, so again, pretty classic style here, because you've got Valor's like your kind of barbarian warrior, Inspiration's probably more of your like bard kind of character. Light is going to be your paladin. Wandering is going to be like your ranger kind of character. And Arcana, obviously some kind of mage. And then Path of Shadow to finish it up is that's sort of your rogue character that you're going to be doing. Again, with a lot of all the basic kind of tropes of an RPG here. And so we've got all of the different portraits, it looks like, to start off with. You do have, you can make any of your classes whatever you want to, as far as like whatever, or any of the races can be whatever class that you would like. A lot of little punch outs here for all these little check marks and stuff. and they got little names that you can have pre-printed to pick out for your character. I believe you also probably have one where you can just fill in whatever you want to as well. So lots of little chits and things to put in here, modifiers, it looks like, for probably when you're leveling to show what all your stats are at the time. One of the cool things with this game is going to be that it's got like a really neat system for holding all of your pieces and packing those away, so that's going to be cool to dive into. But otherwise, this is probably like a lot of the starting armor and stuff here as well. Yeah, it looks like you've got maybe like a describing word here too. You got scholar, scout, ruffian, scamp, soother, noodler. The noodler, that kind of sounds, it's like you're just catching catfish, I guess, with your bare hands. He's the noodler. All right, and then here's some of the really nice content of this game. We've got little boxes for all this stuff. So here's Path of Valor. Open it up. We'll take a peek real quick at some of the. So it's nice that this is already pre-punched for you too. You don't have to sort that out. And I wonder. I actually don't want to look at these too hard because I'm not sure if this is supposed to be some of the like treasure content, because it is in kind of a treasure tuck box. These are really cute. They're made out of like that cardstock kind of paper. So those look neat. I don't want to look too hard into those, but it does look like you have one for all the different six here, as well as, what is this? This is probably just like you get a wood chest maybe, and you reach in and grab something. So that's fun. Do not want to spoil that for you guys or for myself. This box is a little cold. I got some condensation showing up here. So here's a whole packet. Whole packet of big map tiles, it looks like. So you got this stuff all divided out, and then you've got like lettering to be able to see like I guess the code or whatever when you're looking it up in the booklet, and tells you which one to find, so you can find that without actually seeing it and flip through that. I don't think there's a big reason. I tell you what, we'll pull out the very first one. Again, I don't want to do too much spoiler content for this, but we'll pull out the very first one just to see. It looks like you've got active and inactive dividers in these as well. Okay, it's kind of tight in there. Yeah, we'll take a quick peek at just the very first one of these, if I can get this thing open. Try not to damage everything with my little shiv here in the excitement of opening a new game and trying to do it somewhat quickly on camera. I mean, this is if you can't tell, that's a stack of stuff. A lot of content here. So Exiles Camp. So it shows you a description right here, and then I will flip over just this very first one. If you don't want to see a little tiny spoiler, then don't look. I'm sure you won't even know what's going on with it. This looks like something that I even have seen on some of the early playthrough stuff. So this would just be like a example of going into a location and then having stuff to interact with on that. So let's not look through all those though. We'll see if we can pack that in here maybe. Not too much difficulty maybe. Saw a little tiny spoiler on the very back there. It looked like some kind of river. Jeez. It's kind of tight in there. Tell you what, doesn't just slide in there. I don't want to bend it up out of excitement trying to put it away, so I'm just going to set that off to the side. Okay. Start our trash pile on the floor. So this looks like all the accessories, I guess, to create your character with. So you've got tiny little heads here. I'm going to bring this over to the close-up cam so we can take a little bit better of a look at maybe some of this stuff. So yeah, any one of your body types that you're going to take are going to be associated, like this I would assume would be the Valor character here, that kind of looks a little bit more like a warrior. And then you can pop any of the different races' heads in here. So it looks like we have a total of what, 9 different races, and then you've got a male and female type head that you can put on each one of them. So here's some kind of pink race. This maybe is some kind of weird elf type character. Yeah, they just pop in, and then you've got somewhat of a customized little miniature. Pretty decent paint job on these. Not bad for pre-painted miniatures. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, this not too bad. Actually, looks pretty darn good. Pretty good. It's not like you're. It's definitely a step up from Mage Knight. Let's just say that. So lots of little heads. We've got some of the. Let's see. I wonder if I can bring that down any further. There we go. Maybe we'll get it just a little bit closer. So here's like your ranger body. Your maybe mage, either mage or it's the pious one. I'm not sure. Here looks like your bard, inspiration character. He's holding a lute, of course, with a little short sword. This is this. I don't know. It looks like he's got like some of those tuning forks in his hands. Maybe that's the cleric. I'm not sure because this kind of looks like it might be a mage holding some fire here. And this would be your rogue, I'm assuming. Maybe. Little hard to say if that's the rogue or not. I can't really tell what they're holding in their hand there. Kind of looks like a flask on a chain. I'm not sure. This could also be the cleric holding some kind of holy relic too in their hands. Not 100% on that. But yeah, heads aren't super detailed, but you're going to be seeing them at a distance anyways. So there's just like your human head. Look at a few of these. This looks like some kind of elf or high elf kind of little head. It's got a little circlet on. You got kind of a dwarf, and I do have the small bodies, so if you do pick a dwarf, you can choose to use the shorter body to make it a little more appropriate as you're playing. I want to see what the female dwarf head looks like. I'm assuming this is a female dwarf. I don't know. It's just short-haired. It's kind of indiscriminate. Maybe it could be either one. The rest of these are all paired in color where you can see it really well. This one's got kind of a... they all have a little bit of a dirty wash on them. So this one does as well. I guess you could be a avatar if you would like. You got these blue characters. They probably have a race name in there somewhere. Maybe they are the Avatar race. So tiny little heads, but once you stick them on, you're going to keep them. Here's your orcs. Just more or less looks like a human with green face. I'm sure if you look a little closer, you could probably see a little bit of fangs with that. Let's look at the female orc too. This one's a little more obvious as a female with the hair kind of bunned up and looks a little bit more feminine in the face. Still kind of hard to see a lot of detail on such a tiny image. You have these like cat people. So you can kind of see those ears popping up. I've already looked at one of the pink ones when I put that first head on. I don't know, but these guys kind of look like maybe some other version of elf. Maybe it's like a wood elf versus like some high elf. They do have blue hair. Looks like the female one. You know, I'm saying male and female, but maybe these are just... Maybe this one's supposed to be the female, because I don't think the female one's going to have a little power triangle beard there. Like that one does. But cool though. That's definitely one of the high points, I think, at least with the production of the game is having these. These are pretty neat. So we'll look and see what else we've got going on in the rest of the box. Got your classic gems. Looks like there's one little odd kind of green gem in this red container here. These look more or less like your Stonemaier type little containers here, so you can kind of double these up as like two different holders, because this one's kind of rounded in as well. But nothing too much to see there, just those very classic gems, the same gem mold you've seen in every other game. So you got these very unique die that have something to do with like hits and directions, I guess, of where maybe hits are happening at. Yeah, I have not got into the system too far. I have watched a playthrough, but it was a little while ago, and I was doing other stuff at the same time, so I didn't really learn it while I was watching it. I was just kind of more or less watching the basics of how that played out. So it looks like these are maybe like the starting items that you need to set up your board for the different characters. So I've been looking at a lot of the Path of Valor, because this is the first one that comes into my vision here. But let's take a look and see what's in the green box for the Path of Wandering. We'll just pop out. I'm assuming a lot of this stuff is going to be kind of repetitive in different colors. You got cards for these guys, a bunch of cubes, couple different shaped things. You got little octagonal little chits as well here, and some kind of little triangle shape as well. Looks like everybody's going to have their own D20. Let's take a peek and see what's in one set of these cards. All right. Path of Wandering, so it's got bow, quiver, hunting knife, mark, snipe, poultice. Maybe these, I wonder if these are cards that you always have the ability to use to do things in the very beginning, or if you're going to have to like learn them as you go. I'm not sure. It's got RNG. I wonder if that's just like a number you have to hit to grab them. I mean, like to be able to actually use the action. It's got a little FAQ on the back of each of these. That's really handy. That means you're not going to have to look in the box as much. I mean, in the rule book as much. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So it looks like this is maybe the different like abilities that you could probably learn. It looks like there is somewhat of a tech tree going on here with these, because I see little tiny arrows that are pointing. You get Swift as the Wolf, and then you can get Snake Strike, and then after you have Snake Strike, you can maybe learn Flashing Steel as well as Harpoon Arrow. Some of these go two different directions. So that's cool. I really like the fact that they put FAQs on the back of these cards too, so you can have a little bit of extra information if you need to figure out how an action's actually working. So let's go ahead and pop one of those up. I don't think there's really much of a reason to go through all of the different tuck boxes right now, but we do have 6 of those as well that are going to be showing up here. So let's see what else we got. This is going to be for the map, like the world or whatever. It does have 2 sections to it. Might as well go ahead and cut these open. I don't think we're going to be spoiling anything with this too much. And these, yeah, it looks like it's 2 boards, but I believe this is actually triple layered. And it's so that when you go to one of these locations, and I probably will spoil just one of them that I don't think is going to really matter for later, because we'll probably forget what it is. Maybe I'll just spoil the very first one. Let's see, A1. So you do have to punch these out a little bit as you're doing this, but they're triple layered so that you have this extra section to push down on so you can flip them over, and then it'll tell you, well, without even looking. I don't even want to read exactly what that was, but it will tell you what is underneath each one of these locations as you go into it. So that's pretty nice. Now, I don't really like the fact that, like, if you notice right now, I did just very slightly even tear that just to punch that open. So maybe you got to be a little careful. You might even, like, with that, I think that wasn't even part of the punch board while that ripped. I think it might have actually gotten itself glued in here a little bit in this triple layer when they were putting it together. So that's not going to be a big deal at all as far as playing goes, but you might want to be a little careful when you're punching these guys out, not to go ripping them out too hard, because you might end up ripping a section off like that. It's just the tiniest little corner here. It's not a big deal. But there is that. Okay, so let's see what else we got. We've got some kind of cardboard divider stuff. Oh, this looks really nice. This is you got some wood printed stuff. I'm going to set this aside like it's trash for the moment, but maybe I'll have to get back to it. I don't know if I need that to put this stuff back correctly. So we've got some kind of little extra holders here. I wonder what these are about. Maybe this is to mark different enemies by color. It's got like a little kind of a corner on them. It might be something that you attach to enemies to be able to keep up with, like, some color code to know which enemies you're interacting with. We've got some kind of a wood printed thing here. Huh. The Exile Squill token for service. So this is a really nice token. Squill of Scandai. So maybe this is just, I know in the very beginning you are running after these like squill tokens. Maybe this is just one so you can have it in your hand. Just to kind of add to the immersion a little bit. There's a couple other little wood tokens here. Not sure what those are about just yet. There's one more here. You got a different color on either side. It looks like maybe one's active and maybe one's been used or something like that, because you got kind of a blank colored side to those as well. But yeah, the squill, I don't know, the squills I think are like some kind of merit like almost like a merit coin or whatever that you're getting for doing certain things in the very first missions. So maybe that's just again, just to have a tactile feel of one. Maybe it's useful in some ways. They do have little holes and stuff in them. Maybe you're going to end up laying them on a card or something to be able to see something. Maybe it's like a little decoder. That'd be kind of neat. Let's see what that is later. There's a few little blue cubes along with that stuff as well. Alright, so we're digging in. There's a whole nother bag of blue cubes. I don't know why those other ones were separate. I guess they are slightly different colored. And then these are actually pretty heavy here, whatever this is. So we've got some more colored cubes for something. These, I wonder if this is the currency in the game. These are all metal. So we've got these like copper color, silver, and gold. That probably refers to some kind of money. These feel very weighty though. Definitely nice little things. They're rounded off. They look like they've been kind of squeezed together. There's a little bit of a seam line on them too. Interesting. Little like chunks of metal to kind of maybe designate your money. Unless it's something else. I don't know if it's something else. It could be something else. Alright. See if we can squeeze all that stuff back into their not Stonemaier little containers that they have. Alright, let's see. So we've got a figure box. So this is going to be, it does say do not open until directed. So it looks like these are, I'm assuming, are enemies at this point. I do want to pull out at least one of the enemies. So, spoiler alert, if we're going to see anything here, I think I may... oh man, they even have little like tuck things or whatever, or like little slots so that you can pull them out without seeing them. I want to go to one that's just a low number. This is number 1. I mean, this is figure box 1. There's figure 0 here. I'm kind of tempted to just maybe look at that one. Is there an actual figure 1 in here? I don't see one that just says figure 1 box. Jeez. All right, we're gonna pull out figure 0 and see what is in figure 0. So these are kind of like advent calendar style. And we're gonna take a peek at what is in there. Okay, spoiler alert, figure 0. Hey, I think this is probably okay. This is the, I think this is a practice dummy. Oh, really neat though, for like little pre-painted, already set up miniatures. I mean, this is cool. Yeah, it looks like a practice dummy. Oh, that's really neat though. I mean, I wonder if you can really catch some of the detail here. I mean, pretty darn well painted. I like that. Again, you know, I mean, you could certainly paint them better, but I'm pretty darn happy with that. I appreciate painting. I can paint. I don't do it very much at all because it takes me forever, and I'm very excited that all these miniatures are pre-painted and already set up for you. That's really cool. So again, we've got like this whole advent calendar tuck box area for those. And we won't look at any other ones because they're secret and you can't see them. Not until you go through the campaign. All right. I'm just being annoying there with all that. Okay. I don't know if we need this. So, we've got all these boxes of cards here. So, every time I do an unboxing video, I have to get a handful of these cards, and I got to give them the smell test. See what they smell like. Oh, that's pretty nice. Kind of smells like, oh, that's pretty close to Magic the Gathering, which is like Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering were the best smells. I think it actually is. It smells like the same kind of ink. I don't know if I'm the only one that gets excited about the smell of cards, but I have a lot of nostalgia. 60% of your memory is tied to smell, and so I have a lot of strong memories of pulling out Pokemon cards in particular, a little bit of Magic when I was younger, but pretty cool. So this is really nice. There's probably going to be dividers and stuff for this. It looks like not enough room to sleeve these. Hopefully it's not something that really needs to be sleeved. It's only if you're really shuffling things that you need to sleeve stuff. And I have kind of gotten a little bit lax on sleeving where I don't feel like I need to sleeve things if they aren't going to be shuffled. But hopefully this isn't stuff that needs to be shuffled too much. You do have a little divider here, or a little like cardboard thing to kind of hold all that in place. And there's nothing on the bottom of these, I don't believe. No. Shouldn't be anyways. It's kind of sit up off of themselves. That's why I wanted to check, because there's like a big ridge where they kind of sit up on top of the cards. So we do have a few more of those that are going on. We'll pull the top off of them. I don't really, again, there's a lot of this stuff I don't want to show too much spoiler content for. I'll pull out one of these cards just to feel it. It's kind of got a linen-y finish to it a little bit. I don't know if you're going to be, it's probably not going to pick up on the camera, I wouldn't think. But yeah, it does have a little bit of that linen finish. They're pretty thin, you know, to be expected when you got a ton of cards like this. But nice though, that linen feel is really nice with them. I don't know if they're actually linen. It kind of feels like it's just a pressed on linen feel. Not quite not maybe quite wingspan level, but still better than a lot of the other cheap cards that I see in these games that have like a ton of cards. I mean, this is a lot of cards. This is a lot of weight. Even just picking these few boxes up because they are all packed full of cards. Okay, let's push those out of the way. So let's see. We could take a peek at. Let's see. These are going to be more map tiles. Do not open until directed, even if it's on an unboxing. All these cool treasure chests. I'm excited about those because, again, I think the idea is that you just stick your fingers in there and grab something that you like the size of, and then you see what it is whenever you get the opportunity to get into those. This feels like it's got stuff in it rather than just map tiles. Don't know what that's going to be. Very secret. Do not open. I'm going to follow those directions because I don't want to spoil too much of this myself. Here are medium-sized map tiles. So maybe, I wonder, I want to feel this again. I wonder if this is like, this might have some cardboard sprues in it that you're punching out, like tokens and stuff. Because the other ones feel like they're more just a straight set of like cards or whatever, like the map tile cards. We'll take a peek at the small bodies real fast, and maybe I can compare those to the other bodies. I want to tear up these tuck boxes the first time I open them. Oh, okay. Huh. Look at that. There's a bunch of little tiny boxes. It does say do not open until directed. That's kind of interesting because I was just assuming that the small bodies box was just going to have the small bodies of all the main characters, but there are extra little hidden bits in here. So exciting. All right. Very cool. Let's take a look and see if I can find, yep, there's the other ones. So let's compare some of these body sizes a little bit because they should look pretty similar otherwise. Catch a little drink here and wet my whistle real quick. All right. So here's an example of the difference between a small body of the bard, the inspiration character, and the miniature version. Very nice. So here would be your dwarf bard. You don't have different heads. All the heads are going to be the same. These are a little fiddly to get in, but once you get them in, you're not going to be removing them much. They do fit in nice and tight. So there's your little dwarf. And let's see, we'll get a human out. Human head. All right. So look at that. Isn't that neat? And they look seamless once you punch those heads in. They look like they were already made with those heads on. They don't look like it was something separate. Very cool. Definitely glad I got the small bodies to make those appropriate, because this would just seem silly, right? If you had, watch me break his neck off pulling them out of there. They're fairly snug once they get in. And it is kind of like somewhat of a softer plastic, like a little bit wiggly. But yeah, if you don't have the small bodies when you get this game, that's an odd looking. That's not even a dwarf, right? That's just Willy. That's just Willy from The Simpsons. Yeah. So that doesn't work as a dwarf, to me, anyways. Especially if you have non-dwarf. If it's like if your whole party is small people, then you could say they're all small. But yeah, so you got more or less direct comparisons, like direct translations from the small bodies to the large bodies. And they're like slightly like angled different too. It's not just like they took this body and just like shrunk it. or maybe they did. Maybe they shortened it and it changed the arm, but you can see like the arm is like slightly more directed the way that you would expect it would be. And it even looks like, I don't know, that like the bow and arrow look like they're about the same size, so that's pretty cool. It kind of gives you the effect again too that you didn't just shrink it to make this body. It looks like they actually changed it to make it look like that, but otherwise everything else looks like the exact same with the pose and the colors of all of the gear. You could even kind of see, I'm having to get my face a little closer to see, like the pants are shortened up on the small guy because his cloak or whatever this is that's going over him, his tunic is covering more of him, so you can actually see more of the pants on the big one. Very cool though. That's just really, really well produced already, just looking at all of this stuff. I'm really excited to see what's in these tiny little boxes. Look at all these little things. Okay, let's push those aside. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, we've got, so I do want to get these out maybe last. I might get those out last. We've got the Epic Hunt small map tiles, a whole section for those. So we've already had small, medium, and large. This looks like maybe some kind of a round tracker here. Everything's either dual layered or triple layered, so very cool. We've got a big pack of, looks like these are all dividers for all those cards. And I've got long map tiles. And then we've got like some cardboard dividers. I'm going to toss these off to the side for the moment, not throw them completely away. Okay, so let's get all of these out. This is we're about to the bottom of it here. And we'll take a look at the Epic Hunt before we look at those. There's a special box here at the bottom. That's a DOS, do not open until instructed. Just feeling it. Oh, I can actually see, without pulling out too much of it, that this is all cardboard. Oh, I'm so tempted to pull this out. It looks like, oh, what is that? It's got like little additional like advent calendar punches, but they're only like half circles. What's that about? I don't know. Maybe there's something on the back side. I guess we'll have to figure that out as we play. Okay, so at this point though, the box is empty. It does look like it's got instructions on the side for how to pack it back, which is excellent. The Exiles of Renown. I wonder if we can see any of that on the small. So yeah, so it's got all their accolades here for the Far Off team, and then I think these are probably all backers. I mean, this box is covered in them. I want to find my name. Look at all those. That's so many names. I don't know how they got this many names on here. I mean, it's every side of the box. It's full. It's just about completely full. Only thing they took room off was to give space for the reorganizing packing instructions here. Okay, very cool. All right, so let's take a look at the Epic Hunt. We're just about done here. So this is a little mini expansion, just something to probably, price it up just a little bit. It doesn't say not to open this. It says this mini expansion adds a set of unique hunts to the campaign focused around the mischievous creature on the box. This mini expansion also includes an alternate set of character skills available from the start of the campaign. So this is definitely stuff that we can get into. Let's take a look and see what all is included. So you got cards for the rules. This look like maybe enemy stuff that you run into. Maybe we can flip through this just a little bit. I don't think we're going to ruin too much information by doing this. I wonder if these cards go into those boxes or if you're supposed to keep that other little box. All right. So yeah, it looks like there's the lizard guy from the front of it. Again, I'm not trying to look too hard at this stuff. Just kind of flip through it. Looks like there's FAQ information. That's based off of maybe different skills that your characters can get. Brewmaster, ooh. Yeah. And then it's got a whole section of little skills here. Ephemeral, weathered, likable, level-headed, rambunctious. There's the Brewmaster. So those cards must just go along with each of these little things that are going to fit into your character trays. And we will pull out this guy because we know what he is. He's that little chameleon guy from the front of the box. Take a peek at his miniature. I mean, man, like the detail on these is, to me, is impressive. Because it's, again, you could paint this a lot better yourself at home, but for something coming out of the factory, I mean, that's darn nice. That's really nice. I wonder what they did to get somebody to paint these so well in a factory. I mean, it's just block colors, and then they're putting a dirty wash on it, but it looks good. I mean, that's pretty darn good to just come out of the factory pre-painted. Gosh, you know, you get those pre-painted. I love Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, but God, they're another one. They're not quite as bad as Mage Knight, but they're not that far off. This is definitely better than either of those two. So, very, very well produced game. As far as my first eyeballs on the game go. Okay, let's take a peek then at the last components. So let's get out, we'll get out the Path of Shadow, since we haven't pulled out too much of his stuff. So you got this character tray, obviously dual layered. So all this stuff will like fit in here, and then you can slide it back in here when you're done and keep it in place. So that's excellent. You do have, I'm not sure what they're doing, if there were like little cardboard chits that are held in here. I was assuming the cubes go in here, so I'm not really sure if this just is reset from one mission to the other and you don't have to worry about it and you have it written, you know, maybe somewhere else it's marked and then you just throw your cube in there after, because the cubes are definitely not going to fit into these sliding boxes here. But yeah, you can put all your armor and everything. I mean, just really cool looking the way that you've got all these different pieces. You're going to have actual chits for all this stuff, so you can really like kind of see your character evolving as the game goes on. So that's really cool. That's really cool. And then it looks like these are all the main skills that you're going to pop into your board. This, I think these are stuck together. I don't want to rip something, but they do feel like they are actually stuck in there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely am glad I didn't continue to rip that. So these also are triple layered. So let's be careful getting one of those out so don't tear it up. So I'm not sure what this little marker is about, because you do have these like little hexagonal wood pegs. I wonder if that has something to do with pegging one of those in here. But yeah, you flip these in and then flip it. It looks like there's something Trap Expert. So you got Trap Expert on the back. You got on the front to Master. Oh, so I guess if you master it, you can flip it over, and maybe this is the mastered side. Very neat. Nice touch though, having these triple layered like that to make it where you can easily like flip them out. Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Not super easy to put back without flipping it right back out again. But it does fit back in. So I think everything is supposed to be pretty resettable. But that's going to be the setup for each, or like, you know, in each one of these character trays. Again, you can just like save your character basically, all their little armor pieces and skills and whatnot, inventory, and then just pack it away into one of these tuck boxes here and have it all set up for the next time you play, which again is just another great addition to the way this game is produced. So obviously you got ones for each of the different paths as well. Take a picture of some of those guys. So I guess the one that was carrying the staff earlier probably was the Path of Light. Then it looks like maybe they're holding a light. Obviously the bards are inspiration. Arcana is the ones that are actually holding those tuning forks. I guess that kind of makes sense. Maybe some magic in the air that they're divining. Path of Valor. Very cool. And then we've obviously seen the Path of Shadow as well. Very neat. Looks like you've got information too on the back. I didn't see this yet. Information on the back that's telling you how to set everything up. Very neat. All right. I like it. I like it a lot. So I think with that, that's pretty much everything on the board here, or on the layout. We can take a peek and see some of the mess that's on my table at this point, pulling all this stuff out. There's quite a bit of content here. So yeah, and it's in a fairly, I think for the amount of content, this is a relatively condensed box too. So we'll see how all that puts away. But otherwise, I think that's essentially everything that you're going to expect to be seeing in your box of Arydia, the Paths We Dare Tread. Very excited to get in this game. Hoping that I play through a decent amount of a campaign rather than just playing like 5 missions and putting it away while I'm playing something else. But this looks like it's going to be very easy to get your setup, you know, ready to go right after you decide to pull it back out again. Really excited to kind of get through and see some more of this content, some of the secret content as we go. But it looks like it's just going to be a fun adventure. You can play it solo or play it with people, and probably have a great time either way. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to be about all that I've got for this unboxing of Arydia. I thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this. You know, if you do enjoy this kind of content, a couple of those little free clicks on your screen, it does really help support out channels like mine. I appreciate it so much when you do. But as always, do what is right for you. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.